of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Breathe deep. Loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Let go, let go, let go. Let go, let go, let go. How did that feel? How did it feel to sing that? That you don't have to carry all of it all the time. Maybe it was a relief and now you have a little more breath. Or maybe you felt resistance because there's a part of you that says, I do need to carry this. I need to carry all of this. I find myself reacting both ways, with relief and with resistance, because it has been a terrible year. A year in which I have felt tangled up and exhausted. And add into the tangle the upcoming election and these past few days in Israel, and well, my body is on high alert. Even if there is nothing I can do, part of me feels obligated to remain in an active state of worry. I want to exhale, but I am knotted up and not yet feeling the freedom to let go, let go, let go. This is a tangled time, people. Yes. Every time is a tangled time, but sometimes the tethers are more obvious or they are drawn tighter. I have felt the cords attach right to my heart, right to my nervous system. They have had me bound, full of tears, afraid to say too much, and afraid to say too little. This is why we chose the theme of untying our tangles as our kavanah for the holy days this year. We chose to lean into the Torah of tangles and the liturgy of loosening. I'll talk more tomorrow about the Torah of tangles as we read the story of the binding of Isaac. But tonight I want to dwell a little on the liturgy of loosening, especially the Ana B'choach prayer that we just sang together. This is a very old poem. It is not just a prayer, but a mnemonic for a 42-letter name of God. When you chant this prayer, you are, word by word, calling on the divine by name. It opens, Ana B'choach, Gedulat Yamincha, Tatir Tzirura. Please, with all your compassionate power, release our tangles. Release our tangles. Tatir Tzirura. Tatir Tzirura is the untie our tangles phrase in that line. The word Tzirura comes from the Hebrew root tsarar, to bundle up or tie or tangle. And this is a root that pops up not infrequently in our tradition. Next week, On Yom Kippur, in our vidui, the communal confession that begins Ashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, if you fast forward to the 18th line, you will hear Tsararnu, we have bound, or we have entangled. There is no explanation or description in the prayer of the nature of the entanglement, but still we ask forgiveness for it. Our prayer writers of old knew that entanglement was inevitable, that there is no way to live on this planet without creating tangles that sometimes harm others or ourselves. We find the tsarar root in other familiar places. In Psalm 23, where in English we say, "You have set a table for me in the presence of my enemies." It is not the typical Hebrew word for enemy that is used, but rather tsorer, one who binds, one who entangles. So you can choose to read the line as something like, "You nourish me despite all the things that entangle me." Ta'aroch lefanai shulchan neged tsorerai. You nourish me despite all the things that entangle me. Tsorer also reads as enemy in the book of Esther, where the villain Haman is referred to 4 times as Tsorer HaYehudim, the enemy of the Jews. But even there, the energetic of entanglement hovers close. We notice in the text how entangled Haman is with his own hatred. Just as we notice in the world how enemies, especially traditional enemies, often seem so enmeshed with each other that they will ignore their own self-interest in order to continue to tangle. So maybe the people we think of as our enemies are the people that we have gotten tangled up with. And it is in the strain of trying to pull away that the knots get tighter. The Hebrew root sarar is also connected to the word tsar, meaning narrow, as in min hametzar or Mitzrayim, the narrow place. And it's also related to the word tsarot, meaning troubles, as you might know from Yiddish, oi do we have tsoros. And friends, oi indeed, what tsoros we have. In the Ana B'Choach prayer, we ask to be touched by the divine quality of loosening. This prayer is a name of God. The words in it are divine qualities. We ask to be touched by the divine quality of loosening, of untying, of releasing from the troubles, from the tangles, from the narrow places, from the knot that seems to keep getting tighter. And having said all that, I also wonder if maybe not every tangle is one that we need to pull free of. There is a use of this Hebrew root sarar that you have heard many times at Jewish burials and Yizkor services. In the El Malei Rachamim prayer, we sing, Utzror bitzror hachayim et nishmata. May her soul be bound up in the bonds of life, in the tangle. We even turn that wish into a 5-letter acronym that is commonly found on Jewish gravestones. May her soul be tzrura, bound, tangled up in tzror hachayim, the tangle of life. So for a people whose liturgy resists and asks for release from tangles, why are we blessing our beloved dead that they stay entangled? What is this tangle of life? In answer to that, I'm going to bring us on a little tangent and offer a story about creation. You know that on Rosh Hashanah, if you're not new to Ner Shalom, you know that on Rosh Hashanah, the birthday of the world, I'd like to share something cosmological. So I will tell a story about life that I didn't know until recently. It began in the spring when one of my Hebrew school students told me that our planet is currently the only place in the universe where we have ever observed the phenomenon of fire. And I said, but wait, what about the sun? And they said, no, that's not fire, that's nuclear fusion. Because I have Hebrew school students who can say things about nuclear fusion. And then the rest of the day, I was wondering about volcanic activity, but realized that while molten lava can set off fires, it is not itself fire. Same with lightning. An electrical discharge can start a fire, but it is not itself fire. So I went down an obsessive rabbit hole on this. And what emerged was a story about the creation of this planet that I had never understood. Fire, unlike the other mythic elements of water, earth, and air, is not matter. It is a chemical reaction that requires two things. What are they? Oxygen, fuel. Oxygen and fuel. And typically, what is the fuel? Yeah, that's right. Plant or animal matter, which is the residue of life, and oxygen, which is also the residue of life. Fire is only possible because of life. It is a byproduct of life. It emerges from life. So here's how I might retell a piece of the creation story. Bereshit, in the beginning, in the early days of our world, before it was formed as we know it, a dark carbon dioxide sky hovered over the water. Slowly, life evolved in the great seas, life suited to the conditions. Then, 2 or 3 billion years ago, bacterial life began exhaling oxygen, which floated to the surface of the water and made a home in the air. Oxygen went from being 0.02% of the atmosphere to 21% of it. And as that happened, the sky slowly turned blue. In the oceans under the blue sky, algae evolved and other plant life, eventually spreading onto dry land less than 1 billion years ago, with fire soon to follow. And the oxygen-rich atmosphere and the plant life made it possible for animals of all sorts to evolve, swimming, soaring, scuttling, stepping. And we, humanity, are latecomers to a world long unfolding. This new understanding blew my mind. I used to think the world came into existence perfectly ready for life such as ours. But no, this planet was terraformed by our ancient microbial ancestors. Life itself created the conditions for life. Life created fire and blue skies and a world ready for our bodies and thoughts and actions. And life ain't done yet. When I think of this still living history, I think this must be Tzror HaChaim, the tangle of life, the tangle we want to remain part of, and that Tzror HaChaim doesn't just exist in some planetary way over geological time. It lives in the now. It lives in the now because we are, in this very moment, life, preparing the world for life. We are life, preparing the world for life. So what gifts do we want to offer to create the conditions for what happens next? What gifts do we want to offer to create the conditions for what happens next? Maybe, like those ancient microbial ancestors, we want to offer our breath. Maybe, like our grandmothers, we want to offer our love. We have to imagine, dream up what we want to see next, and then ask ourselves, what are the seeds of that? This is why I think it's important in all of our responses to all of the challenges in the world to balance our fight with our love, balance our struggle with care, end each day of activism with a friend and a cup of tea. I am willing to fight, to struggle in the hopes of something better. But I don't want my legacy to be the fight. I don't want my legacy to be the struggle. So I must also plant seeds of love and kindness and care and patience. This is why even in these intense times that demand our attention and our hard work, I also want to hold the principle of loosen, 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 baby. I do not want us to neglect our joy out of a sense of loyalty to suffering. In Pirkei Avot, Rabbi Tarfon famously says, "It is not up to you to finish the work, and you are not free to abstain from it. Instead, there is a balance of doing and laying back, doing and laying back. When we live as if there is only the work, we impoverish the soil of the future. We must do the work, and we must celebrate. May we be released from tangles of harm. May we embrace the bonds of life. May we sow the field with seeds of a beautiful and kind future. May we plant seeds of wholeness and healing. May we help this tzror hachayim, this tangle of life, become what Song of Songs calls tzror hamor, a bundle of fragrant myrrh that hangs at the breast of the divine, where we might, at the end of the day, lay our weary heads." Loosen, loosen, baby, you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby, you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Let go, let go, let go. Let go.